Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe Classified set, the Steel Corps Commander, and the Twilight Guard. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the Steel Corps Commander figures. I mean, I think they're alright. I understand that they're based off of the old mail away figure that you could actually become the figure. I actually had that figure back in the day, and he was pretty neat. But the main reason I picked this particular setup is because of the Twilight figure, because I was always a big fan of the Crimson Guards. I always thought they looked really cool. So when I saw a black version of one of those, I was like, dude, I got to get this. So with all that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for those of you who watch this video and like it and haven't subscribed yet, then I please ask that you subscribe and also check out my G.I. Joe playlist. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, so here they are in packaging. You got your pretty much standard classified packaging. So you have Joe versus Cobra up here. You got both of their names. You got the Joe star crossed with the Cobra logo. G.I. Joe classified. You got your choking hazard and age restrictions. You got your Hasbro logo. Then you have this open window where you can see both figures. And you spin around here. You get this nice picture of both figures. I kind of like that picture, to be honest with you. That looks pretty cool. G.I. Joe, what number they are. Spin them around this way here. All right, so you get this picture of the two of them engaged in combat. Some of their extra details. You got their number up here, their stats, and some legal underneath that. Spin them around here. You got their stats again, your QR code. All right, the top, you have the Joe Star slash with the Cobra logo and their number. And bringing it around this way, you got your legal and SKU. So, all that being said, let's open them up and see what they're about. All right, so here he is out of packaging. He's a pretty cool looking figure. He's not one of my favorites, but I do think he looks pretty cool. Well, with these Steel Corps guys, I always get this Halo vibe off of them. Like you know, they just kind of have like this Spartan look to them. That's just my personal opinion of them, but I always got that feeling from these guys. So first, we're going to start off with his points of articulation. So the head does move. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You got an elbow joint. And you got a wrist joint. All right. Get this other arm up. He has a joint here underneath the ribs. And he also has a swivel at the hips. Spin him around this way. You got a thigh joint. There it is. There's the swivel. All right. Knee joint. Should have a swivel right here at the top of the boot. Okay. And an ankle joint. So everything seems to work pretty well with him. I don't have any issues. So now let's start taking a look at his details. So first off, I like the helmet design. He has this like gold look to it. All right, let's look at that side. And then this side. So he has spots for equipment on the front. So he has a grenade right here. He has a holster for his knife. And then he has like this gray and green camo sort of look to him. Spin him around this way. All right. He has some sort of arm gauntlet here. A shoulder pad piece, which what looks like shotgun shells going across the top. And then lift his arm up. You get a holster here for a gun as well. Okay, spin them around this way. Now you got the back of them, so you have a spot to put a backpack on them. A holster for a pistol. And then you have some other storage spot there as well. Spin them around here. You have another arm gauntlet. Push them forward a little bit. You have this Joe logo here. Lift the arm up. And you got some equipment on his belt as well. I mean, not his belt, on his thigh there. So that's most of his big details. Now, the weapons and stuff, gear for these guys are pretty interesting. So I'm going to first go through what looks to be tailor-made for him, and that is a knife, right, and a pistol. All right. Now, none of these characters do come with blast effects, but none of the blast effects work with this pistol, because as you look down the barrel of it, you can see that there isn't that little hole for the blast effects to work with it. So we're going to do the pistol and the knife. Now, most of these fingers are pretty flexible, so you could usually get your weapons in pretty easy, like. And I say usually because sometimes, like anything else, things can be a bugger. So the pistol fits in there fine, no issues. And now for the knife, okay, that fits in there pretty well. No issues with the knife. All right. So this pistol can, I guess, go into either one. So it should be able to sit in here. Okay, no issues. And you flip around to the back. Got this back coaster here. And boom. All right, so that works with him as well. And then boom. His knife goes right in the front. So everything seems to work pretty well with this guy. I don't have any issues with him at this point in time. All right, so now we're looking at the Twilight Guard, and I love the look for him. Once again, like I said earlier, I always love the look of the Crimson Guard, the whole design of their suit. So I find it kind of cool that now they got a black version of them. That looks really neat. I like the overall look to him. So first off, we're going to start with his points of articulation. So the head does move. Right, move his cape out of the way so you have a shoulder joint. It's hindered a little bit by this armor, but it might also be because it's tight as well. Get a swivel. You get an elbow joint here and a wrist joint. All right. Get this other arm up. So you got a joint right underneath the ribs. And you got your hip joint. All right. Get that armor back up on there. Spin them around this way. You got your thigh joint with a swivel. All right. You got a knee joint, a boot joint. Oh, a swivel right here at the top of the boot. And you also have an ankle joint. All right. Get them back into place. Now, this guy got some really cool detail going on with him. Well, so first off, arm down. I love the head sculpt. I love the color code. So you have this semi-gloss helmet with this silver faceplate and an orange slit in it. That looks really neat. I like that look. All right. So now you get down into his armament. So he has the standard flight jacket that usually like most of your Cobra troopers have and your officers. So this is pretty standard. Nothing spectacular to that. Same with the bottom part. Matter of fact, you look right here. This is where his saber's going to hook on to. All right. So he has like this, open up his arm a little bit here. He has like this black and purple look going. So you see this purple mixed in with the black. I really like that look to it. That looks really cool. Armor wants to keep on falling off. So let's get him over to this side. So he has his gloss gauntlet here. That looks nice. The same with this armor piece here. He has a spot for his dagger right there. And I love the coloring to the cape. The red looks nice. I wonder if the purple might better suit it, the cape, because he has purple highlights, but it still works. And I like that it's a cloth cape. So it looks really nice. It drops really well on him. Now the cape is strapped around, so you can't get much movement on it, but right here you have a hole for his backpack. Spin Spin them around this way. You got the same shoulder piece that you did on the other side, but now they add color. So you have this orange with this red logo in here. Tilt it a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. You got the same gloss armor gauntlet on them. Lift the arm up. And you have a spot for his pistol. All right. And back around to the front. So he's a really cool figure. I like a lot of the colors on him. So now some of his more tailor-made stuff. So he comes with a backpack, able to hold a bunch of equipment. Now this is obviously his backpack because I don't know how well you can see it. You got his symbol right here on the back of it. So that is designed for him. All right. He comes with a pistol. All right. Now this one does have the hole to add blast effects to it. So your blast effects can work with this pistol. All right. It comes with a knife. And now on this knife, let's flip it around this way. You can see the Cobra head on it. I think the other Crimson Guards came with a similar knife, if I remember right. All right. He comes with this iconic sword. All right. And see, you got more of that purple in there. That looks really cool. I like that. Even on the handle here, you get that purple. And then you got the blade here, which is like almost like a gunmetal silver, which is really nice. So they definitely put some work into his gear. So now let's try this stuff on him. So first off, let's do the pistol first. All right. Goes in here like this. Trying to get that finger in there. Boom. No issues with the pistol. Fits in his hand fine. Now the dagger or knife. Actually, this ain't a dagger. This is a almost like a utility knife. All right, got to twist that in there just a little bit because of the butt piece, but knife fits well in his hands. No issues. All right, lift this up here. Put the gun in. No problems with that. And next is his dagger, knife. I don't know why I'm calling it a dagger. It obviously isn't. So there's your holster for it. That slides in really nice there. No issues. Can be concealed by his cape. All right. Next, do the sword. Now his hands are both designed pretty much the same way, so what would fit in one will fit in the other. Just thumb out of the way. There we go. All right. There it goes. All right, so his saber fits in very well in his hand. No issues with that. All right. That back in the scabbard. Lift his arm up. Put this on here. Goes on really well. No issues with that. And then spin him around this way. And now for the backpack. All right. So the backpack works with him. I kind of think he looks a little bit better without it, but it is made for him, so everything seems to work pretty well with this figure. All right, so now we're going to get into all the accessories that are supposedly made for both of them, and I have a reason why I say that. So first off, you got your machine gun here. All right, standard machine gun. Clip comes out. Clip goes in. All right. Just like that. Now, here's where it gets goofy. All right. So that feels like it's made for him, the Commando. Now you have all your other weapons. Like you have this laser rifle here. Or a railgun. I don't know what's considered. But it has the purple back. So because his color code is purple, it fits him a lot better. And all these other weapons are like that. All of them are color coded to match the Twilight Guard. Even though when you look at the box art, it actually shows him using one of these, but you look at them all, they're designed to be for him, and even his pack is designed to hold these weapons. So I don't know if he was meant to just have like the machine gun. I believe that's a I don't know, MP5 or whatever it might be. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like that gun was made for him, and all these other weapons are made for the Twilight Guard. So you have that rail gun. You have your grenade gun, which is once again black and purple. All right. You have this rifle here. I'm not sure. I guess that's another rail gun looking at the front of it. I think the clip comes out. No, it doesn't. All right. Does it? No. So the clip don't come out of that. But once again, you got your black and purple. All right. You have your heavy assault rifle. Let's do it this way. Around here. Now this you have the option of having the box feed, or you can actually have the belt, which I'll be showing next. Right here. Right. You have this rifle here, which looks to be an assassin's rifle. Once again, it's your black and purple. I think the clip does come out of this one. It does. All right. You have another assault rifle, which is once again your black and purple. And I believe the clip comes out of that. It does. All right. Pushes back in. That's a little bit tight. There it goes. All right. And last but not least, you have another purple, black and black assault weapon. Right? And that clip comes out of that one as well. So you can see why I feel like the majority's weapons were tailor-made for him. Now you do have a couple of blast effects. So you have this one here. All right. You have the smoking barrel. All right. You have this blast effect as well. You have another cone shape. All right. You have the machine gun effect. So a rapid fire effect. You have another blast effect. Okay. You have this cone effect. And then you have both of these type here. So you have this one here. And this one there. So we'll just run through these weapons with both of these guys. Because like I said, even though they're, excuse me, tailor designed for the Twilight Guard, they work with both. But like I said, it seems like the only weapon that's tailor made for him is the standard, military machine gun. So we'll start with that one first. All right. We'll put it in his hand. All right, that fits fine. No issues. Let's do this effect on it. All right, so you could get that firing effect on there. And the thing about most of these guns, other than the two rail guns, probably a lot of these effects will work with whatever weapon you choose to use them with. That and also the grenade launcher you can't use it for either. Right, speaking of the grenade launcher, let's put this in his hand. All right. This one always was a pain because you got to work it around the back side of it. Hold up, let me get him a little bit closer to me here. So you really got to open up this hand for this. Oops. Open up that thumb a lot too. Like I said, These ones are always a pain to try to get in there. But once you get it on, it's usually pretty cool looking. There it goes. Alright, so both of these guns fit well in the hands. Like I said, their hands are pretty much similar. So at this point, for the sake of time, if you could get two guns in one guy's hand, you could get them in the other guy's. So let's do the two rail guns with him. Alright. That fits in his hand pretty easily. No issues. And here's the other rail gun. Another one of those pain in the rear designs. Not so much as a gun, but just a little bit hard to get it into their hands. But it works. So the two rail guns work fine with him. No issues. Alright. Now they could probably sit on the back here. Once again, he is designed to hold these things. So yeah, you could put these on the back here. You just clip in. Maybe not so easily with that one. There it goes. Alright. There's one. There's the other. So, alright, they're both on his back. You put another weapon under here too. Probably like maybe one of the rifles. I don't know. But these definitely fit on his back pretty well. Take them off. Take these off. Now we're going to go for the next set. Alright. So let's give him the large machine gun, seeing how that's what he has on the box art. Put it in this hand. Actually, go here. Alright, so that works well with him. Now these kickstands do come out, so if you want them to have it propped on a, a wall, or if you want them in a laying down position for a sniper attack, you can. No issues with that. And of course, this can come off. And you can put the belt feet in there as well. Just like that. So if you want it belt fed, you can do that as well. Alright. Give them this. Alright. So now that gun works very well with them as well. Some of these blast effects are kind of meant to kind of go together. So if you want to do something like that, you can, or whatever. You just put it right in the barrel here. Alright. So you could do a combination like that with the blast effects if you like. You can do one of these on this one as well. In fact, you could do something like this. Now, however you want to combo them, make them look cool. Alright. Now to the guard. Alright. This rifle in his hand. Alright. Works pretty well. No issues. And now for this gun as well. Alright, both guns fit in his hands. Alright, now for time's sake, I'm not worrying about putting the fingers into the triggers, because they do work. It's just, it'd take a minute to like maneuver them and what have you. So there you go. That works with him. Now this does come off. So if you want that suppressor off, you can. You want to put this smoking barrel in him, you can, as you can see. So all these weapons swap out pretty well with them. Some of it I did cut out for time reasons, but probably some of these other guns may fit on his back as well. But As you can see, the guns are interchangeable. You can swap between the both figures. So I didn't have any issues getting anything on these guys. All right, so in editing, I noticed something that I missed, so I wanted to do this little extra piece. I noticed that some of the guns do have different coloring to them. So if you look at this one here, look, let's move the guys over here. You can see that this is not the same purple as he has. So you look at this gun, and then you look at this. That's more of a purple. This is almost like a purplish blue. They're slightly different. Just like this has that purplish blue. And then this is that same purple as the Twilight Guard. So they are actually different. So the ones with this more bluish color are meant for him. And then the purple ones are more meant for him. Like this is another one of the purple. So the colors are almost so identical that if you don't really look at them, you don't notice it. I think it would have been better if they would have made his weapons maybe like that gold. So like instead of having this like purplish blue, it'd be a gold. So it'd stand out more as his weapons opposed to looking a lot like his. Maybe they did that so you could interchange it. I don't know, but the colors are so close you almost miss it. Like I said, I caught it when I was doing editing, so I felt like I needed to point this out that yes, some of these weapons do have different colors. So these guns here are meant for him, and these ones here are meant for him. All right, so my final thought on these guys is this is a pretty good set. I like both figures. They both look pretty cool. All their weapons swapped out very well between the two figures. Also, all their joints move very well. Didn't have any issues with any of that. And so far, the blast effects work fine with all the guns, except for his pistol. For some reason, his pistol is the only one that doesn't have a hole for the blast effects. But everything worked fine. I wasn't going to do the weapons in each individual hand just because of the fact that it would just take way too long to do it when all you have to do is put a weapon in each hand. If it works from one hand, it'll work with the other one. So, due to time restraints, I didn't want to, put a gun in each individual hand. So it all works fine with these figures. Everything is good with them. Now, I have one thought on this, and this is my own personal thought. I don't have anything to back it, but I really feel like this set was originally meant to be him. Just because 90% of the weapons are tailor-made for him. The only weapon that felt like it was made for him is this particular machine gun. The only weapon I felt like that was made for him other than, the pistol and the knife that, fit on him perfectly. But everything else felt like it was made for this figure. All the weapons had that purple and black, which I shown, in the video. So I feel like it was originally meant to be this figure. Then somebody came up with hey, well, if we're doing a Twilight Guard, why don't we add one of the commandos with it, and have him part of the set? And that's just my personal opinion, just of my observation of all the accessories that come with these figures. So would I recommend this set? Yes, I would recommend this set. Both figures are pretty cool. I do tend to favor the Twilight Guard just because, once again, like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of the Crimson Guard, so getting one in black looks really cool. The black and purple looks really awesome on this figure, so I like his overall look. And as for the Commando, he is pretty cool looking as well. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.